All right, guys, I am back. I am here with Bianca O'Brien, who is actually just celebrating a little over 4 years with the Coaching Network, which is crazy. I was actually telling one of the girls who was interviewing last, she said she's been in it for 3, and I was like, yeah, I've been in it for about and then I stopped myself and I was like, I've been in it for almost 6. This is crazy. I don't know where it's gone. So I'm sure you feel the same about just being incredibly blessed by this whole opportunity. So Bianca is a mom of 3. She actually when you started, you were a full-time nurse. Is that right?
Mhm.
And she now flies. She's a flight attendant. She works part-time, and she also runs her Beachbody as well. So we wanted to get on this call, and we wanted to chat with Bianca a little bit about her personal journey and talking about just the physical transformation side. And so I'm just going to kind of let you take it away and share a little bit of how you started and all of that.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I'm like so honored to be talking about this. And it does get me super excited to talk about my physical transformation because I'm one of those, that kind of joined because of the fitness side of the company. I wasn't planning on starting a business. When I signed up, I'd hit my highest in weight. I had never been overweight my whole life until I had my second daughter. And I had gone through a little bit of trouble getting pregnant with her. I'd had 2 miscarriages before getting pregnant with her. And I've always been like a really active person. I love to run, and I did hot yoga, and I did all kinds of active stuff. And when I got pregnant with Allie, the doctor told me, maybe you should lay back from some of these activities. Maybe you do a little bit too much. And so at that point, I stopped doing everything. I felt like, it was my fault, and I was having the miscarriages because I was working out. That was my thought. And so I did nothing. I laid on the couch and I ate cake the whole pregnancy. And then I woke up 8 months later, from the whole turmoil that was her pregnancy and everything. And I was 205 pounds. And coming from somebody that had always been, active, and I've never really had a problem losing weight, I was just like, what is going on? So I wanted to go back to what I knew to do, which was to run. And I tried doing that. And Allie she's great, but she has always been a difficult baby. So I'd put her in a stroller and she'd cry, and it just wasn't working for me. And I knew, and I never fixed my nutrition. I never had to watch what I ate because I was so active. But once I had Allie and I couldn't be active anymore, I was like, okay, well then I can't do anything. And so it just, depression sunk in. I just kept getting more overweight, and I just became somebody I was not. Like I would look at myself in the mirror and say, who is this person? And one day I saw an infomercial for Insanity on TV. And I was like, that's it. That's my solution. I can work out from home, and I'm going to burn all these calories off, and I'm going to be, I'm going to go back to my old self. And so I purchased Insanity. And I started working out, and I loved it. I just thought it was like the best thing ever. But I never fixed my nutrition. And I started posting about it. I didn't know anything about the coaching network or anything. And one of my friends from nursing school, she reached out to me, and she was like, wow, you're doing Insanity. I'm doing T25. And she's like, I'm a coach. You should come and join my challenge group. And I was like, no. I was like, why? I'm doing fine on my own. And she was posting, and she was losing a ton of weight, and I was doing Insanity and eating cheeseburgers at night because that was what I had always done my entire life. So I didn't get the whole nutrition part. And she's drinking the shake that I didn't want to buy because I was like, this is too expensive. And she's posting about this, and I'm watching her, and she's shrinking, and I'm losing like 2 pounds in a month, So I was like, this is ridiculous. So I reached out to her, and that's when I signed up to be a coach. I think I was one of her first coaches. But we've been friends for a long time. So she put me in this challenge group. And finally, I was just like, it started to click, oh, the shake, there's something to it. I started feeling great. And then in 2 months, I lost 33 pounds doing T25. I actually followed it to the T. I'm one of those that if I invest in something, I'm like, okay, I'm going to put my money to work. So I actually started doing it. I followed it to the T, and I had a great transformation. And then people started to ask me, how did you lose 30? Because my scrubs, at that point I was a nurse, and my scrubs were falling off my hips. And people were asking me like, oh my God, you're shrinking. What are you doing? And I was just so excited about it. I was just like, you have to try this. This is amazing. I can't believe how great I feel. And I was just talking to everybody about it, not thinking about the side the business on the side at all. I wanted nothing to do with it. I didn't know anything about it. I was just so excited. I wanted to tell everybody what I was doing. And it was easy for me to share because I was just so excited about it.
Very cool. So when you started as a coach, you clearly were like a work in progress, right? And I think that's something that tricks people up sometimes is they think, well, I can't be a good enough coach, Bianca, because I just am not at my goal weight, or I just don't have the perfect body, or I sometimes lose my own motivation. So if you could, just for a couple minutes, could you just encourage people or talk to them a little bit about that part, that mindset that goes into becoming a coach, even if you feel like I don't think I'm where I want to be?
Oh, definitely. That's exactly what happened. So when people started to notice and they saw that I was losing weight and I was talking to them and I was actually getting people to sign up, but I was sending them all to my coach. People would ask me, what are you doing? I was like, well, you have to try this. And I would send them to my friend. And she would be like, every time I did it, she was like, you're crazy. I don't know why you don't want the money. You could be a great coach, because we're best friends. So that's how we talked. And at that point, I still remember I was 205. So at that point I'd lost 30 pounds. Maybe I was still 170 pounds. And I still didn't feel like I was, in any place to help anyone. I just felt like, okay, people are going to look at me and say, look at this chubby girl. And why would anybody want me as a coach? And then now thinking about it and looking back, there's a lot of self-confidence issues that I had to work through because I didn't feel like I had anything to offer. And so it took my friend who knew me on the inside and knew that I was somebody that really loved to help people to point out that you would be great at this, even if you're not, the expert on nutrition that you feel like you need to be. You care, and because you care, you're going to be great. And so I was like, when your friend tells you to do something, you kind of trust them. They're not trying to scam you. They're not trying to do, they're not talking you into something because they want to see you fail. They think that you could succeed. So it took her seeing that in me. And me losing those first 33 pounds, that was key for me. But once that happened, then a little transformation started to happen on the inside. And at that same time, I was like, okay, I can't really do this, but I want to try it. Something in me just knew that I wasn't going to get past where I was if I didn't stop paying it forward. And so I wanted other people to feel like I felt. I really, truly felt like every mom in the world needed to know that there was a solution, that they were suffering in silence like I was. And they didn't know, because I didn't know for so long. And so when she said, sign up to be a coach, I said, okay. Well, I had already signed up for the coach because I love Shakeology, so I was getting my discount. But then she said, start signing up people on, under you, and start coaching them and teaching them and putting them in these groups. And so I said, okay. So I started helping people. And what happened was, like, at the first month, at my first challenge group, at the end of the first challenge group, I started getting messages from people. And I started waking up to people saying, thank you so much for helping me. And, what your coaching has done so much for me. You've helped me lose 15 pounds. And I feel so amazing. And I just wanted to thank you. And that spoke to me at a deeper level. And I was like, wow, it's so much more about, me caring about them rather than me knowing exactly what to say. We can do this together. And we were doing it together. And that's why that challenge was so exciting to do. It was just like, okay, we were helping each other. We were all losing weight. We're all feeling great. And I felt like $1 million because, not only was I losing the weight, but now people were thanking me for helping them. So it was really an amazing experience. And that's when the little coaching bug bit me. And I was like, I need more of this. Yeah. I need more of this. Keep it coming.
And I have to add too, you have amazing, and your transformation before was amazing, but even more amazing is your recent 80-day obsession transformation, which is so inspiring. I'm so excited to just do the program for myself and as well when it comes out in January. But I also love that you really speak of trusting the process. Like, there is an amount of trust that goes into this, and leaning into not just the business, but into your challengers and into, just your own results as well. And I think that speaks volume, and it's just a beautiful testimonial of what the potential of this business can do, not just on the physical side, in the, the financial side, but also just the emotional side too, which I love. So thank you so much for your time, guys. Bianca's in the group too, so if you guys have questions for her, just reach out. I'm sure that she would be more than willing to share, and I would love, love, love if you would share your transformation picture too within our group as well. So thank you so much for your time. It is very much appreciated, and have a good day. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Yeah.